Salute, Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing as the Knicks pull off 8 straight in Washington now, back-to-back wins. 126, 106 in this one. Much more comfortable, right? No cardiac in this one, but it was an amazing game from Josh Hart. His triple-double helped the Knicks in that second quarter get up, and the Knicks never looked back. Karl-Anthony Towns with a monster performance as well. We've got game balls to give out. We've got the chat to shout out. Knicks Nation, we're buzzing in the right time of year now as we turn over to 2025. We've got the Utah Jazz up next. And how long can this streak keep going? We're going to talk about that tonight, fam. Let's get it, Knicks Nation. The streets are buzzing. Smashing that like button. Great to be with you. And what a game from Josh Hart, man. We're going to go through the stats, the numbers, and the facts. But Josh Hart continues to bound and astound, right? And he gets the A+ game ball for tonight. And now has the 4th most triple doubles in Knicks franchise history. Can we get a thumbs up for that, guys? Salute, buzzer beater. Let's get it, Daryl. Dermot in the building. Like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Great to have you with us as the Knicks season continues to roll. We're going to go through the numbers tonight and give all these Knicks their flowers. A quiet but efficient night from Karl-Anthony Towns with ease. 32 points, 13 rebounds. But it was Josh Hart, to me, that stole the show, right? As I just read out that stat, the 4th most triple doubles in franchise history. In his 41 minutes was 7 of 15, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from deep, 50%. I see you, Josh Hart, hitting those threes. 15 rebounds, 10 assists, 23 points with 2 steals and a +25, man. One of the best individual performances from a New York Knick this season, right? I think that goes without saying. I mean, the manner of the way the game was going, as you see in the notes, was a little bit of a sluggish start, much better than the last game, but still the Knicks just couldn't get that separation until Josh Hart really changed the ball game in that second quarter. And man, he was absolutely phenomenal, right? Finding Cat with the alley-oops. The ball was spraying all over the place with 32 team assists as well, which is phenomenal. And the New York Knicks, hit some threes late, which, inflated their three-point percentage a bit, 15 of 44. But it was much needed. The defense was excellent in this one. The Knicks were getting steals, 9 steals as a team, 2 blocks getting out in transition. Ernest, Knicks, James Baker, what's up? Feel good vibes in this one, man. I want to wish everyone an early Happy New Year. Obviously, we play the Utah Jazz on New Year's Day, on Wednesday. I'm going to look forward to that matchup, and the Knicks can make it 9. But obviously now, the Knicks move within half a game of the Boston Celtics, who have lost their last game, and they're, experiencing some turbulence, and the New York Knicks are clicking right now. We're going to go through some offensive numbers as a team later tonight as well. Michael Drake, look forward to that. I'm going to talk about why this offense is so elite around the league. And, of course, the New York Knicks, according to the NBA power rankings now, have moved up to number 3. Fam, the New York Knicks have moved up ahead of Boston in the power rankings to number 3 in this one. But I'm going to go through all the highlights as well. And Deuce McBride, I felt, was a nice addition in the 4th quarter, helped the Knicks close it out as Brunson got to sit early in the 4th to give him a bit of extra rest. JB was questionable, before tonight's ball game. And, I would have loved him to get pulled out of the game a bit earlier. I think we didn't really need him. But, hey, Tibbs is going to Tibbs, But Deuce did give the Knicks excellent minutes early and has appeared to find his shot as well. We've got some good minutes from Landry Shamet. We'll talk about him. But obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns was the sidekick for Hart tonight. And amazing numbers with 32 and 13, man. I mean, what a player Cat is right now. Playing like the best big in the league, I feel, not just in the East. Absolutely phenomenal. The trade continues to pay off. And of course, while we're talking about trades, OG Anunoby, the New York Knicks are now 43 and 13 in the wins and loss since that trade with OG in the lineup. 43 and 13, man. 30 games above 500. Right, that is absolutely phenomenal. It's not even a full season sample size, and it's 30 games above 500 with OG Anunoby in the lineup, man. We absolutely fleeced with that trade. We fleeced with the Karl-Anthony Towns trade as well. And while we're at it tonight with Josh Hart, we fleeced the Portland Trail Blazers with that trade as well. Cam Reddish and a protected first round pick, right, for the heart of a team. Triple double whenever you need it. Can do it all. Fam. Sandman in the building with Doug Fresh. Salute, guys. Health, happiness, and blessings to you and family as well. We're reliving the highs of tonight. Look, in perspective, it's great to get, back-to-back wins over the same team. It is the worst team in the league, but these back-to-backs, they do test your ability to adjust. They test, different aspects of your game plan. But obviously, Washington just didn't have the talent to keep up late. They ran out of gas, but they did give the Knicks some good fight. I will give the Wizards credit in terms of yes, they're headed for the tank game, but they've obviously got Valanciunas, Brogdon, and they've got Kuzma that are going to be veterans that a lot of teams are going to be trying to get in the next month or two in the trade season. But their young players are really giving the Knicks some good tests with their length. But yeah, good test for the Knicks and Utah and OKC. Just like Daryl said in the chat, that OKC game is really penciled in for me on the calendar, and I'm really looking forward to the month of January coming up. We'll look at that again. Troy, salute to with Sandman, with Valanciunas. I think there was, he's a pro, he's a veteran around the league, and I think he's been a teammate with Josh Hart. But I do think there's admirable appreciation on both sides from the Knicks front office and Valanciunas. So yeah, it could be something to look out for as well. We have a quote coming from Steph Bondy as well during the game. Basically, he spoke to Valanciunas, and Valanciunas confirmed that there was dialogue between his agent and the New York Knicks as well. So we have confirmation that the Knicks did speak to the reps of Valanciunas in free agency. But there was some salary restraints and all of that. But I think they maintained some healthy relations, right? Speaking of healthy relations, guys, as we're smashing that like button, Karl-Anthony Towns, man, give us your grade on his season so far. 13 of 19, right? 3 of 7, gets to the foul line as well. Throwback basketball with the post-up moves that I know Sandman appreciates as well as most of us. The hooks, the floater game, the straight line drives, the three-point shooting isn't even needed. He didn't even hit a singular three tonight. Bam. Can we get a salute to that? 32 points from Karl-Anthony Towns. But what if I told you he didn't make a single three and still gave us 32 points? It's huge, man. 13 rebounds with 5 offensive. What Hartenstein, man. What Hartenstein, man. We're getting 5 offensive rebounds out of Karl-Anthony Towns right there. Can we get a thumbs up for that? Right, no shade on Hartenstein, but I mean, we made an upgrade, ladies and gentlemen, to the highest degree with that, man. 32 and 13. That ain't shabby at all. Doug Fresh, as we play good team ball. Knicks a family, let's go. I think the chemistry is growing, Doug. I think it's growing. I really do think that our offense is getting better and better and better. As we have confirmation from Steph Bondy as well. During the game, OG Anunoby removed the wrap on his elbow, fam, in the second half, and he started shooting well. So that's something to pay attention to as well. But a lot of posters in Washington as Karl-Anthony Towns leaked out and got some more jams as well. He was a handful for the young Tsar, man, 31 minutes as well. Midi Mikal, 6 of 15 from the field, 13 points. Was solid, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, including 4 offensive. Including 2 offensive with 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a +7 as well. Look at the plus-minus of Cam Payne and Landry Shamet as well in their minutes. +10 for Payne, +15 for Landry Shamet's 10 minutes as well. Right. Yeah, the jump hooks are awesome, fam. Absolutely. Cat is the right fit, says CC. And Queen's Place is big cat roaring like a lion too. Yeah, the Thundercat. He has definitely been the Thundercat, and I think realistically the Knicks have two real candidates to make the all NBA first team. There, I'm not gonna lie. We haven't been in this position, since I can remember, fam. I don't know if the Knicks have ever had two players in the first team all NBA, right? It'd probably go back to the championship years, fam. With that said, is Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson also the best Knicks duo in the same team? I think you could arguably go back and talk about the championship years as well. As good as Ewing was, I don't think he had, a sidekick to the level that, Brunson and Cat are together, man. NBA Jam mode as well. Yeah, give us your favorite Knicks duos of the past. But of course, the guy who gets the game ball for me is the triple double man, Josh Hart, from the area, the DMV area, and he showed out again. Amazing game from Josh Hart as I pull up some of his highlights as well. The synergy between him and Bridges on this one is great. I think his ability to play make is actually going to another level, is Hart. And I never thought I would say that about a 29, 30-year-old, soon to be 30 in March. Josh Hart's ability to handle the ball was on full display tonight. You see him crossing over, a different level of comfort that I've seen with a guy like Hart, and to give us the scoring that he does with the rebounds and the hustle, he's invaluable, irreplaceable, and he's definitely not going out of the starting five. I don't care if Mitchell Robinson gets fully healthy, back to his prime years. I don't see Hart getting taken out of the starting five. So I guess that answers the question right now, fam. I don't think they're going to take Mikal Bridges out either. So I think if we had a healthy Mitchell Robinson right now, he's coming off the bench because I just can't see anyone in the starting five coming out right now. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, Ewing and Mark Jackson. I love it, Ernest. I love it. I love it. AP says Cat fixes the bad Porzingis trade we made. It's made up for a lot of things, fam. But yeah, I'm fully focused on the future, and definitely I think we've righted some wrongs, fam. It's amazing we have Cat and we have Bridges, two players that we were hoping to draft, all back. It just goes to show that you can rectify things, you can go back and you can make things, you can switch it up and make adjustments as well. In terms of the next grade, let's give it out to the man, the Thundercat, Karl-Anthony Towns. Before we look at his numbers, he gets an A+. Now let's take a look at Cat's game. I think he had about 6 dunks in this one. His ability to put the ball on the floor is transcendent for a 7-footer as well. I mentioned his handle. He's got really good hands. He can cuff the ball, and he actually protects the basketball real strong. I think that's something Isaiah Hartenstein did pretty well. When iHeart was trying to just, hard dribble, get to the rack, protect the basketball. I think Cat's also that good at protecting the basketball on those drives. He doesn't get stripped, and he takes the bump, he takes the contact, and he finishes strong as well, man. He's a handful, right? You have to start bringing the double right now. If I'm a coach opposing the New York Knicks, fam, I'm bringing the double down low because you just can't leave Cat there. You can't leave anyone guarding Cat on an island. But gives Jay the A+ and game ball as well. Now it's official. Buzzer beater. CC says, I agree. This is the starting lineup Tibbs is going to roll with. Yeah. Amen, brother. Not to say that we shouldn't look for, moves on the margins and try to, upgrade. We're going to talk about TJ Warren because I don't know if you guys seen tonight, man. The guy had 23 points at the half for the G League Knicks tonight. I haven't even seen what final score the man ended up with. But all I know is TJ Warren had 23 points tonight at the half for the G League Knicks. So I know there are going to be a lot of NBA teams looking out for him now in the buyout season as well. Daryl F says Brunson and Cat are cooking. Hart is the glue that keeps it all in play. He makes the proper play on D and on offense as well. Yeah, he gets gritty. He has a great feel for the game as well. Shay says 30+ on 0 3-pointers made is magnificent. You said it. Amen, fam. Amen. Yeah, you guys are on fire. Absolutely, fam. You guys are on fire like the team right now. Um, what do you guys think now? Half a game back of Boston, right? Is that something to pay attention to? I've been talking about the Boston hangover for a minute. I think back to back to repeat is an extremely difficult achievement. You know, the greats of Michael Jordan, you know, many other teams that have done it since. It's not easy doing back to back. And I think Boston will have to be prepared to face some more turbulence along the way, right? I think the hunger ain't going to be the same. They're still an excellent team, but I'm paying attention to that now as the Knicks' hunger continues to go up. And I think we can get that second seed right now as the NBA has got the New York Knicks second in their power rankings. As I pull this up right now, Cavaliers 1, Thunder 2, Knicks 3, up from 7 last week, Celtics in 4, and the Grizz in 5, too, fam. So the New York Knicks moving on up, fam, like PM dawn with that one. And I think, you know, the best is yet to come. You know, I don't even think we're close to reaching our heights or our ceiling, fam, as well. And this is a piece of art, this chart right here, right? You could hang this up and be proud, right? So basically what this is looking at, fam, is offense, scoring, right? The vertical is better shooting on non-assisted shots relative to shot quality, and horizontal is better shooting in assisted shots relative to assists to the shot quality. And look at the New York Knicks, fam. They're like perfect in the top right corner. Basically, that means we are the highest team in terms of getting shot quality off non-assisted shots and as well as assisted shots. So that's basically, you can't take anything away from the Knicks, whether it's isolation buckets or it's, you know, made field goals off assisted buckets. The New York Knicks are killing it right now. Space Ghost, happy holidays to you as well. I really appreciate that, fam. Great to see you. Michael Drake, Josh Hart, A++. Game ball as well. Let's get it, guys. Also, another stat for you all. The New York Knicks are the leader in the NBA in third quarter team scoring, plus minus net rating, fam, as well. Tweeted out New York Basketball, you see it. The New York Knicks have an 18.9 net rating in just the third quarters alone, coming into tonight's ball game as well. Obviously, it's going to improve as well after tonight's ball game as well. So we graduated from third quarter of doom. Now we're third quarter of boom. Now, let's talk about the next guy, Jalen Brunson, tonight. How did you see his ball game? Jalen Brunson, questionable the last 2 games, gives us his all, heart, energy. You know, the guy hates to miss a game, man. He's just a hoops junkie right now. He might need to sit out a game, though. You know, I don't want Brunson to continue to be questionable if he's dealing with some tightness, you know, because that can graduate to be something that you don't want it to be. So if Hart is starting to feel some tightness, I think, you know, I won't be mad if he needs to sit out a game or so. You know, we've got his back. You know, someone else will step up. But he looked fine. You know, he looked fine for the most part. Obviously, you know, they're going to go by the medical situations, but 35 minutes is good. At least he didn't approach the 40 minutes. 6 of 17, 1 of 6 from distance, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 turnovers, a foul, 18 points plus 2 from JB tonight. Yeah, 5 assists, that's solid, 18 points. Yeah, other guys had it going. So the captain just gave us a workman performance tonight. So let's dial up the grade for the captain in this one. I like the 5 dimes, 18 points, 35 minutes. He pushed through it. Obviously, he's not at 100%, you can tell. But 18 points, you know, helps the team in all different ways. He gets the B+ for me tonight. How did you guys see his game? A play I like that I'm seeing more of is the Karl-Anthony Towns step back one-legged step back, Dirk Nowitzki style as well. I mean, that's unguardable right there, man. Right. If I looked up the dictionary in his bag, you're going to see this highlight of Karl-Anthony Towns, man. He is feeling it, and he's scoring in so many ways that you just can't guard one-on-one. Yeah, Big Dave. So the injury from last game, it was right calf soreness. So yeah, calf soreness, which is something that can be, calf injuries can be tricky, but I do think it's better than an ankle. Ankles are something that can linger around. So yeah, make of it what you will. But yeah, it's with the calf situation right now. Obviously, heavy minutes load. I think yeah, we need to rest the man. Um, yeah, El Tango, we've got the All-Star weekend coming up after January. So, um, you know, JB should get a nice break as well during then. But ideally before then, we try to get the man some rest as well. I mean, we're going to talk about Deuce in a minute, but the bench, yeah, was solid tonight, much better than the last game. Obviously, the three-point shooting got better as the game progressed tonight. But I've got no fear if Deuce McBride comes in and starts, if JB needs to sit and miss a game or two, just to rest him up. I think that would be ideal for me. But let's see. I know the man hates to miss a game, especially with us rolling right now, fam. 8 straight. Let's get it. We're going to look around the league next up after we've given out the grades for Macau, OG, and for Tibbs. But yeah, I really like Cat's game tonight as well. Another post up. This one, Mouse in the House over Malcolm Brogdon. See, the help comes, but it's way too late on that one. Now, I want to talk about OG Anunoby, guys, next up. Because he was much better tonight offensively than the last game. 4 of 11 from OG Anunoby, 36%. So hopefully, like I said, reporting Steph Bondy, he did take off the elbow wrap midway through the game, and then he started to shoot the basketball with confidence. So OG Anunoby, 4 of 11. That could be a nice story to look out for next up for the next game. OG's been in a bit of a slump with the three-point ball, but 36% on 11 attempts is solid. Got to the line 4 times, 8 rebounds, including 2 offensive, 18 points as well on a +1 with the block from OG Anunoby, 5 of 14 from the field, but he got to the free throw line, which does help that out as well, fam. I mean, that offensive lineup from the starting 5 looks so pretty, man. 23 points, 18, 32, 13, and 18 as a starting 5, fam. That's a complete full score right there in the modern NBA, right? Over 100 points from the starting 5, right? Basically. And amazing. So hard to guard with our spacing, and 32 assists as well. OG's grade, what do you guys think? OG, I love the block. 18 points is solid. The scoring, we need it. I'm gonna go very similar, and I give OG the B+, just like JB tonight. Yeah, Shay says OG was on point tonight. And Space Ghost says, I would sit JB against Utah, save him for Friday's game against Oklahoma. Yeah, on point. Absolutely, I would agree. Absolutely. Michael says OG and Bridges 3 look good. Thumbs up. And yeah, Big Dave says a calf can be bad. Hopefully it's not going to be a long-term thing. He's so important to the team. Yeah, health is so important, definitely, fam. Absolutely. And look, we have the depth, I think, to rest some of these guys. And I've preached it, even if Cat misses a game, someone steps into the starting 5, and we have enough. We have enough to blow these teams out as well. But the Knicks have capitalized on this, softer stretch, and I'm so happy because, there's been some of these letdown possibilities, but the Knicks have just put their foot on the gas, man. 8 games above 500. 23-10 now on the season. We can afford a little slip up now here and there, to not even be at the halfway point of the season and to be up 13 games above 500. that does give you some room to maneuver, I think, later down the stretch of the season. Obviously, you want to keep the foot on the gas as well and try to, snap that second seed. But you guys are on fire, buzzing. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're a Knicks diehard, you're welcome here, fam. Space says Josh Hart is a robot, just incredible energy. I don't know if it's the Mike and Ike's or the Chipotle, all the things Hart loves. I don't know if it's the energy he gets from the crowd, the teammates, but yeah, he's just a baller. And he's the kind of player that you don't want to play against at the park. Can you imagine the energy and the hustle that he's going to bring at the park, man? No blood, no foul as well. He's a throwback, fam. And as mentioned on the broadcast, and I did Google it, I was just wondering how old Hart is. He's going to turn 30 in March. So Hart is going to be turning 30 soon. I think entering his prime, I think at least 4 or 5 really good years left of Hart. Hopefully he retires as a New York Knick. Because, yeah, I know he's going to be welcome here forever. He's going to be one of those Knicks alumni that, sticks around, I think, in the next 20 years, 30, 40 years. Hart, he's going to be in the Knicks alumni in 2050 wearing those jackets. Because, yeah, he is the epitome of once a Knick, always a Knick. Now, Mikal Bridges. But yeah, obviously with OG, I think, yeah, the shot was pleasing tonight and the one block. Defensively, he's excellent, always scrambling, switching, holding us down. 18 points, can't complain. I know 35% is inefficient, but the 3-point shot looked better tonight. Now, Mikal Bridges played 35 minutes as well. Mr. Iron Man, he deserves his props as well. And shout out to Omar, who was in the crowd last game. I don't know if Omar was tonight there as well, but give us a shout out, Omar, if you were in the building again tonight. I know he hit us up, let us know he was in the building as well. So shout out. Like Michael says, I heard the crowd in Washington. They stood up. Amazing. Can't imagine what it'd be like to be the away team and feel like it's your home team, the energy, the crowd. It just hypes the team up, I feel, especially at the foul line. I mean, it's got to be demoralizing for the other team. But yeah, Midi Mikal, I think the nickname is starting to stick now. Had a nice 3 in transition, although it was 1 of 6, but still gave us 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and 13 points on a +7. I think, once again, the synergy between him and Hart was phenomenal. Those two finding each other cutting as well. This one specifically, I love it. Hart, always with his head up. I think that's the key. It starts with Hart. He keeps his head up, and he waits for Mikal to cut at the right time. So, yeah, for all you young ballers, and I know Clyde always says this, shout out to Clyde. We miss Clyde as well. I can't wait to get Clyde back. I know he's probably having a bit of a rest. Alan Hahn, Jamal Crawford filling in has been really good as well. Pedo, Kenny Albert. We miss Breen as well. But they always say, is a key skill, keep your dribble alive and keep your head up. Always be looking for the cutter, and that's what makes Hart so good at this. He waits to the very last second, and he can pull up with that shot clock buzzer beater, which he does, so many times. But what he also does is he waits for the teammate to cut, at the last second, and the defense was none the wiser with this one. Yeah, true teammate, man, true professional. His Hart, so unselfish as well, and yeah, guys like Bridges benefit from playing with these guys. I mean, all these guys, wouldn't you love to be playing with these guys if you're a baller? I know a lot of other free agents are standing up and paying attention. He's going to get the B+, Midi Mikal as well, and completes the the threesome of B pluses and the duo A pluses from Hart and the Cat tonight. And we're going to talk about Tibbs next up. Appreciate it, James. Yeah, if you're rocking out with us right now, you're buzzing, smash that like button. If you're on us with Replay Squad, we feel the energy as well. Smash that like button. Knicks family in here heavy. Troy says, I'm waiting for the Cavs to slip, which they will. If the Knicks keep their feet on the gas, we can get to that first spot. You know what, Troy? I like that. You know, we forget we're still very young in the season. You know, we are only 33 games into the season. Yeah, there's plenty of time for a slip up for Cleveland, including 3 games that we play Cleveland, I think, as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. We've only played Cleveland once. So I think we play them at least 3 more times, right? At least 2 more times, maybe 3 more. So that could be a good swing as well. Also, they've been relatively healthy as well. The Knicks have faced some adversity, you know. Don't forget Mitchell Robinson has not played a singular ball game this season as well. Here's another one of our 32 assists as a team. Karl-Anthony Towns, fam. Our center, the 7-footer, leaking out ahead of the break. Man, you'd be furious if you were the other coach, fam. How do you have a 7-footer being the dude that beats everyone down the court? Right. That's the energy everyone's playing with right now. It's contagious. And, you know, as the saying goes, the more ball movement and the more times you touch the basketball, the more locked in and more engaged you're going to be, you know, because you know that the basketball is going to find you, and you know that it has energy as well. So I think, yeah, with this starting 5, we're on pace to see records, I think, fall with this basketball club starting 5. Jet Life for Life, I see you. OG just earned a solid A. I like his defense. I like the defense. AP, about Philly. Look, I'm not worried about them. Not worried about them at all. But I was thinking this yesterday. I could see a repeat all over again of Philly making a late run and to finish 8th or finish 7th, and we end up playing them in the first or second round again. And it's not going to, if they're fully healthy, it's not going to be like a normal 2-7 or a 1-8 matchup. You know, so that's, the team doesn't worry me, but a hard fought first round or second round kind of worries me a little bit, because, you know, ideally you want the first round of a playoff series to be against, you know, a team that you can just, get out unscathed, and blow them out in 4 games, sweep them. If we play Philly in the first round and they're fully healthy with Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, it's going to be another hard fought series. So I do hope that we obviously get the ideal seeding. We could face Miami. We could end up facing Milwaukee, Atlanta. Could be some tricky matchups if the Knicks don't get, the highest seed possible. Let us know what you guys think. I do think we're going to win, obviously, but I want us to preserve our legs, for that third round matchup. I think a lot of that is going to dictate whether or not we get a good first or second round matchup with that one. But yeah, you guys agree. Now for Tom Thibodeau, fam. Let's look at the minutes for our minutes police. Hart with 41, stayed on the court late despite the triple-double. But OG 34, Cat 31, Bridges played 35, Brunson 35, and and the bench got solid minutes. Precious Achua with 20 again. That seems to be the range that Precious is getting right now, which is good to get Cat some extra minutes. I think that's why we're seeing Cat look more fresh as well. Precious getting extra minutes is keeping Cat under that 32 minutes. And I know there's been foul trouble as well, which he does have to avoid. But yeah, Cameron Payne, Shamet getting 10 minutes. There was a little bit of garbage time, although not enough for me. But another, solid game from Tibbs, I think, as a coach. Much better than the last game. The Knicks came out with extra energy, were more fresh in this one. So for the grade for Tibbs, I'm going to give Tibbs a B plus as well. I'm going to give Tibbs a B plus. Had the Knicks ready for this one, and the Knicks came out in that third quarter and rode the hot hand with Josh Hart. Yeah, Troy, that Embiid situation's something to look out for. We definitely could be looking at a Mitch situation. We know Mitch plays Embiid well, but definitely, you got to watch out for Embiid with his dirty play. Space Ghost says we got to keep. We need to play one game at a time. Yeah, don't get caught up in any streaks. If it happens, then great, but go all out each game. Yeah, that's wise. That's wise. Definitely, I hear you on that one. I think the Knicks got to approach each game with the same level of respect. It don't matter if it's Boston or playing Oklahoma, or we're playing, ATL or we're playing Utah. I think anyone can beat us, as we've seen. We can beat anyone. We know that, but we can also fall to anyone. By losing to Detroit, Utah, losing to the Hawks twice. As well. But I always say you are what your record says, and we are consistent now. We've eliminated any of that inconsistency. We are beating up on some bad teams, but 23-10, the 13 games over 500. A lot of teams would kill to be in our situation that can't get there for whatever reason. Whether it's Atlanta that can look great, but they just can't be consistent. Indiana, can't consistent performances out of Halliburton. Teams like the Miami Heat that just seem to can't get over the hump. We are in a much better position, Milwaukee included as well. Red Exodus movement, Cat can't be stopped. You said it. Absolutely. He's thriving. I think he's playing like an all-star first team, all NBA. Let's get him in. What's up, Johnny? Great to see you. Tibbs A, he makes the moves that decide games. Yeah, I think he's still learning more about this squad, and I think he just has to trust that bench a bit more. I like Tyler Kolek. Hopefully he can see some minutes. We might need some of these guys for the playoffs. It helps to ease them in, blood them in during the regular season. You just never know. But my God, talk about like Cat. Red Exeter says, look at Cat move as a 7-footer, beating another agile 7-footer down the court for the throwdown. Bam. That was 90s style for me. You saw a lot of 90s dunks like that. Patrick Ewing running the floor. Shaquille O'Neal. Used to see that a lot, fam. Yeah, we're going to talk about the bench now. On point, Jet Live. There is some concerns with our bench productivity. We're making strides with the Landry Shamet situation. I think the way I'm looking at it is if he gives us something good, it's gravy. If he's just a guy that's a body out there, plays decent defense, eats up some minutes, I think that's a win. I think you've got to be realistic. We are at a bit of a talent deficiency off the bench in terms of, being, at an elite level, top 3 seed. But when Deuce is playing well, Campaign and Shamet are giving us good minutes, and Achua, then it looks fine. There is some concerns over the consistency, though. Last game we didn't get anything out of our bench. Tonight we got a little something more, which is good. Deuce 8 points, Precious 5 points, Payne 3, and Landry 6, including one of those garbage time 3-pointers. But I think that's something for Leon Rose, something for him to look out for as well. And we're going to talk about TJ Warren after this. But yeah, in terms of the bench and our grades, let's kick start. Let's start with the big man, Precious Achua, right? Really active. I love Precious's motor. I love his length, his ability to deter shots. He is questionable sometimes handling the basketball, a couple of fumbles, and I think that could be a little bit of just him, adjusting to, major minutes now, a bit larger minutes, and just getting into that rhythm. But yeah, he's a great acquisition for this club. Went 2 of 2, including the 3-pointer from deep. I'm going to pull that one up. The Precious Achiuwa 3 ball. Right, we're starting to see more and more. I can confirm that Precious Achiuwa is shooting now 4 of 11 on the season from distance. Bam. So slightly below 40% from distance. 4 makes off 11 attempts from Precious Achiuwa. Right, what do you guys think about this, fam? Found him in the corner. I mean, Valanciunas don't even want to come out there. He doesn't want to come out to deep waters to contend that, contest that one. And that could be a nice little weapon. I'm not saying I want Precious to shoot 5 of these a game, but, all it takes to make one, and the defense is going to respect that. They're going to respect you more if you hit that one, and then all it takes is the center to have to close out, and then you can get the dribble drive on that as well. But I think Precious deserves big flowers, to obviously working on that part of his game. I mentioned this before. I don't think it's been spoken of enough. The way Achiuwa is looked at is as kind of an older veteran, but I think what people don't realize is, some people don't realize, is his age. He's only 25, fam. He's basically, within a year of RJ Barrett's age. He's also younger than Jericho Sims. People still look at Jericho Sims as an up-and-coming project, or a player who, could have an untapped ceiling still and improve. Well, Precious Achiuwa is a year younger than Jericho Sims at 25. So, a player that I would hate to trade. I hope that we can, figure something out while still keeping Achiuwa on this club. Because I think he's a keeper. He's a player that we need to keep around. He's on an expiring contract. But yeah, I do think the best is yet to come from Precious. With 20 minutes, 5 points, gave us 4 rebounds, including a block, and one of the turnovers as well, including the 1 of 1 from deep, which is big. So with that said, I'm going to give Precious Achiuwa his grade, and he's going to get a B, which is solid. Right. Never when Cat goes out of the game, I'm not stressing, I'm not worrying, I'm not sweating. Knicks years have passed where some of our, best starters would have to come out of the game, and you'd be like, oh, we better watch out, we might lose the lead, or we might let go of the rope. No, I'm not worried at all. I think that's a testament to Achiuwa as well. I think he fills in great. Obviously doesn't give you the scoring that Cat does, but he just, is serviceable. He's solid, and he can still help you win those minutes. So Precious gets the B for me. Buzzer beater gives him the B as well. Firestarter says, can we trade for Steven Adams from the Rockets? I think he could be a buyout candidate. But yeah, I think we'll see. I think it'll be dependent on Mitchell Robinson's situation. We're going to know more very soon. Valanciunas, I think, could be ahead of the curve in terms of that. I think there's really good relationships with Valanciunas as well. He's a CAA client, so keep an eye out on that. Michael gives Precious a B+. Well, yeah, very solid. Troy says, I've got to give a lot of credit to Precious and the bench as they play limited and inconsistent minutes as well. It's hard to develop the rhythm and the timing. Yeah, it is. You're absolutely spot on. But what does help is when you play with the same teammates every game, I think you start to build more chemistry. So that's really important as well. As we saw Dorian Finney-Smith get traded. So we're going to talk about that in a minute when we look around the NBA. But we've got Deuce McBride to talk about. Right, he was big in that fourth quarter, helping the Knicks close it out with big minutes to start the fourth, and yeah, our sixth man of the year coming in, Deuce McBride, more of this. The 3-point shooting had come down a little bit, but we know that he's capable of erupting anytime. So Deuce McBride got 17 minutes, was 3 of 8, 1 of 3 from distance, 8 points, 2 rebounds, including 2 offensive, which is good for a point guard, plus 6 as well, and 6 assists from Miles McBride, 8 points, 6 dimes, 0 turnovers as well. So excellent performance from Deuce. So I'm going to go a B plus for Deuce tonight. What do you guys think? Yeah, Michael Drake says Deuce play with so much heart. That's one of the reasons I'm cool with Brunson having a night off, Definitely Deuce. We know his starting numbers are something like 18 points, 6 or 7 assists. I mean, he can give you starting numbers when he starts. So I think, yeah, he's very capable. Fam. But yeah, to the wider question about our bench, like Jet Life said, I think when you look at Deuce, Payne, Shamet, Achua, I think it's a solid 9-man rotation. If you sprinkle in the bench with some of our elite starters, I think that's one way. That's one way of getting the best out of this 9-man rotation. Like, you always keep Hart or Bridges or Cat or Brunson on the court in a playoff game. I think you can afford that. That's the luxury that we have as a ball club, fam. I know a lot of teams do it. A lot of coaches like that, especially Oklahoma. Milwaukee likes to do it. They usually keep Giannis or Chris Middleton on at all times when they were elite in their prime. I think if this was a playoff game right now, a must-win, you always keep Cat or you keep Brunson on the court. And I think that makes your bench look better, obviously. Now, 82-game season, you can't really do that all the time. You need to give your starters rest. So, yeah, ideally for the trade deadline or whatever it is, buyout market, TJ Warren is appealing to me. He's that bucket getter that just can come in, do a Bogdanovich kind of role. Alec Burks, light, Quentin Grimes role, just complement Deuce, give us a bit more scoring. I know, TJ Warren, not the sexiest name. If you're looking for defense, yeah, maybe Herb Jones, a bit more difficult to get in. But I don't think defense is a major problem right now. I think we just need to keep up the scoring. And then, yeah, big man situation, Valanciunas, Walker Kessler, Steven Adams. I know Portland is a team to look out for as well. They got 4 centers, Duop Reith. They've got Klingon, DeAndre Ayton, and they've got the Time Lord, Robert Williams. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving and shaking. But I think buyout market could be more realistic because there's nobody I want to trade. I'm not touching any of our rookies. I want to see what they've got. I'm definitely not moving Precious Achiuwa right now. I know some teams have asked about Jericho Sims, but he's on a minimum contract, so you're not really going to get anything, that's going to move the needle. The biggest salary is Mitch. I think it just comes down to, is Mitch, back to full health and able to contribute, and then he solves a lot of problems, I think, and can give Cat a rest if we are playing a big team like Cleveland. Yeah, it's a no for Time Lord for me as well, Buzzer, absolutely. I mean, yeah, bring TJ Warren up. I think we're Gucci. Mitch gets healthy. He can be a spot minutes kind of guy against Cleveland. Oklahoma, you're definitely going to need him. Let's say we make the NBA Finals and you're going to go up against Chet Holmgren and Isaiah. You're gonna need size. You're gonna need size against the Houston Rockets. Let's say we get the Rockets Knicks throwback NBA Finals 1994 rematch. you're going to go up against those guys. Sengun on the block. It's going to be a lot of these dudes. But yeah, I think Sims will be more of a throw-in, or to get us a couple of second-round picks, buzzer, is what I've heard as well. Yeah, interesting. I haven't seen Aquaman's salary, Firestarter. That's good to know. We know the Knicks can't take back more salary than they're sending out. So yeah, I think 12 million would be plausible. But yeah, Campaign, Landry, Shamet. Shout out to them for their plus minus. I've said this before, but you know, if they ain't scoring, if you're at least holding your own, you know, earning your keep, that goes a long way. You know, plus 15 for Landry in those 10 minutes were big time. Of course, Campaign as well, plus 15. Plus Shamet was plus 15, and Campaign was the plus 10. So the problem is, you know, in the playoffs, you know, defenses tighten up. What's going to happen if Campaign is streaky? I think that's where Thibodeau is really going to narrow his rotation down to probably 7 if Payne doesn't have it going. Whereas if you do have a guy like a TJ Warren at the wing size, 6'8", can shoot the 3 from deep. That's what we saw with like a Bogdanovic, and you know Tibbs trusted that in the playoffs. You know, Bogdanovic did carve out that niche role, and so did Alec Burks for Tibbs at the wing. I think between Deuce and Jalen Brunson and Hart and Bridges, you can get enough ball handling to not need to play Campaign in a playoff game. But at the wing, you're definitely going to need some extra scoring, I think, and some defense. And yeah, obviously at the big spot like we talked about. But yeah, for Campaign, Landry, Shamet, good to see Landry back, you know, hitting threes. I think obviously, you know, he's still, you know, working off some of the rust. I do think, you know, we're going to see some pretty big games, I think, from Landry, Shamet. So yeah, smaller sample. Yeah, I'm going to give Landry Shamet B-. Good to see him out there, swish a couple threes, get his confidence up. 10 minutes is solid. I don't think we really need any more than 10, 15 for him. The key is going to be against these better teams, guys. You know, what is going to be the look? This is the second game against Washington, so you take it with a pinch of salt in terms of what we're going to see. But yeah, a couple of shots I didn't like from Campaign. You know, starting to see a little bit of that heat check sort of, or heave, late heave sort of stuff, deep heave. I like Campaign to just move the ball, get up and down, and get guys some easy buckets, play more of the point guard role. But we know he can get hot. So he's been on a little bit of a downer recently, his Campaign, but I think Landry Shamet coming back does give us that extra man that we can play. Because for whatever reason, clearly Tibbs doesn't feel like playing Tyler Kolek or Dardier so much. It's kind of unexplainable because he was trusting them earlier in the season. It's like now he's less trusting them. That doesn't make much sense to me. It's early in the season still. I would love to see these guys get some more confidence, get some more minutes as well. And look, Matt Ryan, completely out of the conversation right now. He's just happy to be along for the ride right now, I think, on the two-way. Now, without further ado, like Neymar says, Knicks not that far from being second place, which is big. And I've said it before, you are what your record says. You know, and the Knicks 23-10. There's a lot of criticism and shade being thrown around that the Knicks' schedule has been soft, and it's been the softest schedule of December, which is, you know, something that is out of our control. You know, you are what your record is. These are professional teams, and you have to just keep winning. Like Jazzman says, keep stacking these wins. Now, with the standings, as I refresh right now, our New York Knicks moved to 9-1 in the last 10. Hottest team in the East, possibly the West as well. No, Oklahoma on an 11-game win streak. But the Knicks on an 8-game winning streak. Look at our away record, fam. 13-6. That's sensational. And 10-4 protecting home as well. Beating our rivals in the conference, 17-7. And just 5 games back of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we play Cleveland as well a few more times as well. Plenty of time for a slip up for Cleveland. What do you guys think? Half a game back of Boston now officially with the same amount of wins as well, which is incredible, fam. Incredible, right? I'm buzzing with that, and let's get a clap. And a horn. Right. Hey, that's significant to me. To be the same wins as Boston right now, the reigning champions coming in. The Knicks had new pieces. We dealt with a lot of adversity early in the season. Slow start. People going crazy. We saw some head loss. People crash out over the Bridges saga. Don't forget, Cat was called a bum. He was called soft at one point this season as well. Here we are, fast forward to 33 games in, fam. We're almost at a 700 win percentage on the season. Now, we roll our sleeves up, roll our shorts up, pull our shorts up, and tackle the month of January, fam. We've got New Year's Day clash against the Utah Jazz, right? If you know me well, I've been circling that on my calendar for the minute now. The Utah Jazz, that loss was annoying in Salt Lake City. So I definitely want to give them some home hostility on that one. As they come into MSG, Walker Kessler, Danny Ainge, right? Let's see what they do on the injury report. Do they try to tank that game and give us an easy one? Or do they look to try to, like Danny Ainge does, try to get at the New York Knicks and win that one? What do you think? On Mitchell Robinson, fam, the last update we had was that he is on the verge of starting to run full sprint. And then the next stage after that is going to be taking contact. And then the next stage after that is full practice. So he's still got a couple of hurdles to clear. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen until at least late in the month, late January, I think would be the earliest we see Mitch. But I do think they're going to play it extra cautious. I think they don't want a reoccurrence, right? That would just kill any trade value. It would kill any value that he has on the team to rush him back early. So I think the key is to preach patience for Mitchie. And I think we don't really need him rushed back anytime soon. I think maybe ideally during that All-Star break, fam. Maybe try to get Mitch a couple of games before the All-Star break, see how he pulls up, and then you give him that extra All-Star week, I think, to see how he recovers, fam. Because those 7-footers with the ankle injuries, they are tricky. But yeah, he is attacking that rehab, fam, at a really high level as well. Say what you want about Mitch, but he definitely is a guy that really is professional about his rehab. You look at guys like Zion out there. You look at other guys, Kawhi Leonard. With Mitch, he definitely does give it his all, right? A lot of these injuries, especially the Embiid one, wasn't his fault, right? But yeah, the Knicks, ticking off the season series now. The Wiz season series over the Magic. I think the Hawks. I think the season series is hanging in the balance. 2 to the Hawks we would have to win the next two to tie the season series with the Hawks. We have the season series over the Bucks so far with the one lone game. We have the season series over the Heat so far as well. And without getting carried away, I did promise that I would talk about some of these matchups in the playoffs, kind of a little early preview without getting too far ahead. I do think a fully healthy Magic is a team that I would want to avoid in the playoffs. I think out of all of these teams, I think I respect a healthy Magic team. I mean, to be a team that's still fourth and 6 games over 500 without Paolo, without Franz, without Mo Wagner, I think that's a credit to them. And that's a blight and an embarrassment on the Indiana Pacers, the Heat, the Bucks, all these other teams. I think they're putting those other teams to shame. Simply put, how do you be without Paolo and Franz and still be 6 games over 500? But no one's, the Pacers are getting away with excuses right now. They're an embarrassment. Miami Heat, they're an embarrassment right now. Philadelphia, they're beyond an embarrassment right now. I'm not even worried about them. I just don't want to face them in the first round if they're fully healthy, because they're going to be doing their usual. Nick Nurse, he's going to make it physical. He's going to do all of his tactics, challenge calls, or all of that stuff. Joel Embiid. I just don't want that circus again. But give me the Pacers in the first round. Give me the Heat. Bucks first round. I won't be too mad. I don't think it's going to happen. Hawks, I don't think we'll see them in the first round either. Probably going to be the Heat, the Pacers, the Bulls, Sixers or Pistons even. Definitely give me the Pistons, give me the Bulls, give me the Pacers as well. 11th game as a team, says Firestarter, with 30 plus assists this year. Thumbs up. And David says Philly is starting to creep up in the standings. I mean, they should be. I mean, they've got so much talent. They just haven't been healthy. Tyrese Maxey. I just think we're so much of a better team this year. And I do think that, we're going to win on talent. But yeah, they are going to try to, definitely junk it up a bit. With that said, let's look around the league now. The Jazz, who we face on Wednesday, they're tied with the Nuggets right now. Sixers should be interesting to see if they can hold off the Blazers. We've got Cleveland and the Dubs. Let's look at that. If Cleveland lose to the Warriors, we'll only be 4 games back, 4.5 games back of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's keep this thing rolling, fam. Let's keep this thing rolling. And, Utah coming up next. I think our biggest enemy right now is just our depth, our minutes, and injury potentially. But outside of that, I think our starting 5 is just leaps and bounds better than all the other East starting 5s, outside of Boston and Cleveland. But yeah, obviously we're going to get a much closer look against Boston and against Cleveland. We've only played those 2 teams once. We've played Orlando 3 times. We've only played Miami once. So out of this month of January, fam, we're really going to get another look, the next look at this new look team from the New York Knicks. Orlando at home again, OKC twice in January. We've got Philly, ATL again, Denver and Memphis, which is going to be a really tricky game. Milwaukee at home as well. And we're going to get a great look at these guys, fam. Gershon Yabusele, I think they'll definitely try to hold on to him, but there's going to be so many buyout candidates. It's insane. Lonnie Walker's not even in the league. Markel Fultz, Dennis Smith as well, although the point guard situation, we're okay right now. Neymar gives Bridges a B+. Can't say enough about Bridges. He's been really stepping it up, looking like the Bridges that we know and love and we traded for, coming out of Phoenix after the draft. And he's been excellent. The chemistry is improving with this squad right now. So I'm really happy. I'm pleased to be at 23-10. Let's see how we look now in January. But the thing is that people are missing about the Knicks having that softer schedule is you capitalize. No one's using a easy part of the schedule as a measuring stick, but you capitalize on the soft part of the schedule so that you can afford a couple of slip-ups when you have a tougher part of the schedule as well. That's what it's all about. The NBA regular season is a marathon, fam. It's not a sprint, right? So if you can get 15 games above 500 in 1 month, that allows you to go 500 the next month. No one's saying that we need to blow these other months out and we need to, beat every good team. The reason that you get above 500 is that you can afford, some of the little slip-ups if needed. But who knows? We might just continue rolling against all these teams and these other dudes will look like fools out here. Yep, definitely jet life. Dennis Smith, he's been out for a minute, out of the league. Now, Dorian Finney-Smith, guys, had some quotes. Let's pull that up. Where we at? I know I've got it here somewhere. Maybe I went past it. Here we go, fam. Here's some comedy for us to end the night on a good note. Dorian Finney-Smith out of Brooklyn, now with the Lakers, says, if you play in Brooklyn, you know what I mean. You don't want to be the little brother in the city. So I'm finally with the big brother now. It feels good being the Lakers over the Clippers now and playing for the younger brother in Brooklyn, fam. And we know he got into it with OG Anunoby. Those two got chippy, right? And they're all about losing right now. Draft picks, tanking. That's what's on the Brooklyn Nets' mind right now, fam. We're all about titles right now. You see this 2 times. We want to make this 3 times, fam. We're making moves to try to win another title. We're not about draft picks, tanking, throwing seasons away like Philadelphia used to do for fun right now, and still without a championship, right? This tanking thing, it ain't proof. It ain't failure proof right now. You can tank all you want, but you still need an element of luck, scouting. You still have to sign free agents still. You still need veterans. Right now, I think our front office has done the best of what they can in the last 5 years since Leon Rose is here. Yes, he hasn't hit on every draft pick. And, there's been some blips with Trevor Keels. The Obi Toppin trade didn't work out. But he made the necessary. Right now, we're moving in the right direction, fam, for the new year. So, with that said, fam, as we get it for the new year, that is 2024, fam, as well. And we get it at home against Utah for the start of 2025. Let's start with a dub for the new year. Many blessings to everyone out here. Great to have you with us. Appreciate you. Stay well, stay safe for the new year. Celebrate as well. And peace, blessings from me to yours. And let's get it in the new year. The next 13 games over 500. Unfinished business, of course, but we're clicking at the right time. Still got more than half a season remaining. Let's see what happens. But I'm excited, and the season has reached a great point right now. We've got a great All-Star weekend coming up. Possibly 2, 3, 4 New York Knicks going to be in the All-Star weekend. Let's vote them in. Karl-Anthony Towns. He can be in everything. He can be the skills challenge, dunk contest, three-pointer contest, and he could be in the main game as well. So great vibes, fam. The streets are buzzing. Peace, everyone.